Hello everybody, you're tuned into Crack Call. Today is Tuesday the 28th of March 2023. So today we're going to be talking about the sex kittens type aspect of the upper echelons of Hollywood, or whatever you want to fucking call it. Basically, you've got the Monarch program. It's all to do with this MK Ultra mind control stuff, trauma-based mind control, splitting your brain into different parts. I mean, let's face it, it's proven fact, isn't it? People can have split personalities, man. You know. So if you can have a split personality, you can guarantee they've figured out how to do it. Stands to reason, right? And if they figured out how to do it, well, then they're going to do it, aren't they? I mean, it's the perfect scenario for spies and stuff, isn't it? I mean, they show you what they're doing all the time. I mean, look at films and all this kind of stuff. You know, they'll program. Look at the Manchurian Candidate. Christ, that film was old. That's old. I mean, I think the original Manchurian Candidate was black and white. I could be wrong, but it's from back in the day anyway. And then they redid it with Denzel Washington. I'll tell you what, fantastic film. I've not seen the original. It's on my list, but you know, time and stuff. But yeah, the Denzel Washington one, at the very least, is a fantastic film. So yeah, you know, if you like Denzel, and why wouldn't you? You know, watch it. But as I was saying, it's out there. They tell you what they're doing in the films. It's obvious, you know. They love to put it in your face and let you know what they're doing. I think it's part of the thing. Like, they've got to tell you what they're doing in order to get away with the karma and stuff. I said that in another video. It's and it's probably just put it in your face to say what you're going to do about it. You know, we're telling you what we're doing, and we're getting away with it anyway. It's like a power thing, isn't it? It's abusive power. Again, you know, we're living in the system of an abuser. The whole system is abusive. So it stands to reason then that the people that they have as their assets to push their agendas, to push their popular culture, your cult, remember that. I've noticed that other people have started using that analogy now. But anyway, to push their popular culture, of course they're going to have to be controlled. You know, people. Of course they are. It stands to reason. But if you can control somebody, well then, remember, these people are also capitalists. They're also abusers. Well then, they're going to capitalize upon that abuse. So, I don't know if anybody's seen the Britney Spears interview with a woman called Diane Sawyer. Diane spelled as you would expect, Sawyer spelled S-A-W-E-R. Go and look it up. You can find clips. You don't have to watch the whole thing. I think the whole thing's about 50 minutes long, somewhere around there. You don't have to watch the whole thing. You can find the clips of Britney Spears, you know, like short-circuiting. Her programming is going wrong. Whatever it is, whether it's keywords being said or what, I don't know. But she slips in and out of some form of alter ego. It's weird. You've got to see it with your own eyes. And if you still deny it after seeing it with your own eyes, well then there's probably some sort of fucking programming going on in your brain as well. Because it's there, obvious, it's plain to see. These people are controlled assets, and you know, let's just be straight up, you know, and let's just be you know, let's be Frankfurter here. These people are used for sexual purposes. The men and the women. You know, like, again, look at the films. Look at that film, The Dictator. He's got Polaroids of all the celebrities that he's had sex with, that he's paid for. They've all got a price on their head. Do you think that the Saudi prince, or whoever it is out there, that's got an endless supply of money, isn't going to want to see a prostitute? Of course they are. That's what these people do. They deal in, you know, in perversions. Once you reach a certain level of wealth, that's all you've got. You know, satisfying your perversions. Well, that's why films like The Hostel and shit come into play. But, you know, someone like Britney Spears, she had a high price on her head at one point. And let me tell you, the men too. Why do you think these people become drug addicts? You know, and end up taking overdoses? It's obvious, right, when you look at it. Look at people on your own level that suffer abuse. A lot of the time, childhood abuse. They end up being addicts as adults, right? And unless they can get a handle on that addiction, well, they end up feeding their addictions with crime. There's this guy called John Wedger, ex-London copper. He was saying that he looked into the prison system, right? And he spoke to a lot of convicts. And basically 9 out of 10 people in prison have suffered some form of abuse. Because what abuse does to you, it creates a trauma. And especially as a child, you've not got the the capability to process that trauma in the same way, to understand it. So you self-deprivate. You ultimately then become an enemy to yourself. You start trying to self-medicate then with things like, you know, harmful substances, which then requires funding, enter crime, and there you go. That's the system, you know. Then you end up in jail. No one gives a shit about you. You start telling people that you were abused, no one fucking cares anymore. And this is the problem. People don't give a shit. And that's where we are with the celebrities as well. Because people too often, more often than not, they give in to their own patterns of jealousy. They'll say to themselves, oh, well, fuck it. I don't care about these people because, you know, let's just say, for instance, someone, just some celebrity guy comes out and says, you know, I was abused. They'll say, I'm not bothered, mate. You've had a fucking great life. You've had everything you've always wanted. You know, you've got all that money and you can do whatever you want. So fuck you, you've had a good life. Where's the harm? And what people are doing is they're tapping into their own resentment at that point, because they've always wanted to have that life of celebrity. But let me tell you this, it's probably not all that great. You know, these people get paid a lot of money for what they do. Yeah, granted. They're singing songs, they're fucking acting in TV shows and films and stuff. But at the same time, what does money do to you? What does that amount of money do to you? Well, for the sake of argument, it certainly it isolates you, doesn't it? It does, doesn't it? It isolates you from everybody else, because now you can only mingle with your own kind, can't you? You can only mingle with other people of the same wealth bracket, because let's face it, everybody's afraid that somebody's going to try and just want to be with them because they're wealthy. And a lot of the time that's probably the case as well, which is sad. But like, that's just how people are wired, man. And they're famous. And we're brainwashed with this ideal that being rich and famous is the best thing. You know, that's what we need to revere to. And ultimately, aspire to. That's the word I'm looking for. And it's what we should revere. So ultimately, these people are held out there. They're called stars for a reason. They're held out there, this unattainable light. And people fall for it. We all fall for it, don't we? A fucking pheasant just walking across the road there, not giving a shit. They've got a lot of attitude. But, and this is where we find ourselves. But because people look at that and they know that they'll never be able to attain that type of stardom, Christ, you have to have stupid, crappy, abusive programs like fucking The Britain's Got Talent and all of this crap. Honestly, talk about treating people like pieces of meat, man. To point the finger and laugh at. It's terrible. I hated it. I always did. laughing at people for being crap at something. You know what? They've got the bollocks to fucking stand up there and do it, haven't they? Everyone wants to point the fucking finger. It's so bad. We're so bad, man. The society we live in is so fucked up. But anyway, you're told, you're brainwashed into believing that this is the lifestyle that is, you know, the best lifestyle ever. You know, you can buy whatever you want, you can have whatever you want. Just this materialistic, capitalist fucking mindset. It's the illusion. It's the illusion of materialism. Now, that means that these people, all they want is to either be a star or be with a star. So unfortunately, these stars, for want of a better word, these celebrities, celebrated individuals, these people have kind of got to watch their backs, because people are fucking vultures, man. And it's a real fucking shame, because even though they want to either be that or be with that, you ask them to care about them. Because these people go through a bit of hardship. What do? Look at when, again, case in point, Britney Spears shaved her hair off. Fucking hell. Everyone was taking the piss, laughing. You know? It's so sad. It's so sad to watch people go through this. But you see, this is where we end up. We need to have a little bit of empathy, because these people are abused, man. You know, the casting couch isn't reserved for some. Every single one of those people that are in showbiz have been through the casting couch. Men and women and children. They've all been through the casting couch, and it's fucking disgusting, and we need to have empathy. Who cares whether or not these people are fucking millionaires and that they've got everything? Some of them probably think it's a worthy price. Some of them probably do. Some of them are probably so far into it and they've got rid of their empathy for themselves through certain rituals and shit, because that's another aspect of it, that they just don't care anymore, and they now quite possibly do the same to other people. You know, they're the initiators. So, you know, there you have it. If we can be a little bit more, you know, have a bit more empathy for these folks, and just be like, yo, these people, I feel sorry for them. You know, no wonder people like Heath Ledger, good looking guy, right? Of course. You imagine the fucking shit he had to take when he was a kid. It's disgusting to have to think about it. But this is where we need to fucking have a conversation about this stuff. Because ignoring it and denying it and just pretending that it's not there, all it's going to do is keep adding to the problem. No wonder he fucking had an overdose, man. People say, oh yeah, it's because of the character he played as the Joker. And it probably played a part. But the Joker was an unravelled character. Isn't it funny? They always go, oh yeah, he was a method actor. That's why he had problems. Well, method actors have to actually become the person, right? So, what? They have to create their own persona. But the Joker wasn't committing suicide, was he? In fact, I dare say the Joker didn't even have a fucking drop of alcohol. He wasn't a pisshead, was he? So you can't say that the fucking Joker character turned him into a fucking alcoholic drug addict that fucking ended up having an overdose. You can't really say that, can you? It's got fuck all to do with the Joker's character. It may have unearthed some weird shit. You know, I wouldn't be surprised if that's the case. But you imagine being a young man at the peak of your career, and all you can think about is how you got there. You'd probably go to sleep at night thinking about the horrendous things that you'd had to do and have done to you, you know, in order to get where you are, you'd probably start drinking, wouldn't you? If that was you. And this is what I'm saying, you've got to put yourself in their shoes. If that was you, you'd probably start drinking. And when that stops numbing the pain, you'd probably start taking drugs. And if you've got an endless amount of wealth and you can acquire whatever drink and drugs you want, well, then you're probably going to fucking take too much one day. Or if you start saying the wrong things, you tell me that their drug dealers are fucking just some average twat on the street. No way. They're in on it too. They're in on it too. The drug dealers are known and they're in on it too. Why do you think that people get drugs laced with things like fentanyl? Look at Mac Miller, right? The guy was taking Oxy, right? Fair enough. It's like tablet heroin or whatever. But it was laced with fentanyl. That shit, it doesn't end up in there by accident. You know, fucking hell, it doesn't end up in there by accident. Did you hear about anybody else dying from that batch of drugs? Probably not. People go, oh yeah, it was a bad batch. Really, was it? Or was it just those particular pills? Because if it was, even if it was a whole batch, who put the fentanyl in there? It went in there, it got in there somehow. Somebody puts it in there on purpose. This is what I'm saying. The dealers are in on it too. Of course they are. They're the ones who get close to these celebrities. They're the ones who feed their habits. Do you really think that these controlled individuals aren't going to be controlled by every aspect? If they're releasing their mind, if they're getting rid of their stressors and using as a coping mechanism drugs, they're not going to allow those drugs to be freely acquired, are they? Of course they're not. You'll have a specific set of numbers that you call for your celebrity drugs. Therefore, it's also part of the same web. I mean, just going back to something earlier on, with the trauma and the mind control aspect of all of this, you've got to look at, say, these photo shoots. Now, I know everybody looks at the negative aspect of all of this, and they go, yeah, these people are part of the Monarch mind control program. They're all evil Satanists. Well, aren't these people being mind controlled? So ultimately, I mean, I ain't fucking letting them off for the rituals and shit they've had to do. Half of these people have probably done some bad shit. You know, some more than others. I would say that the more shit you do, the less of your soul you acquire, you retain, and eventually you become dead inside, which is where you probably become one of the abusers, you know, one of the initiators. But anyway, these people are abused, right? These people are under mind control. They've been taken as children into these mind control programs and had their minds controlled. So yes, they're having these fucking photo shoots done with butterflies and stuff to say that they're part of the Monarch mind control. But maybe, why the fuck would you bring attention to that unless you want attention being brought to it for a reason? It makes no fucking sense. Why on earth are you going to put butterflies on all of these photographs unless it's for a reason? Yes, again, it could be down to the whole fucking fact that they want to put it under your nose so they can have a power trip and they can say, well, fuck it and get away with the karma. Fair enough. But maybe there's another level to it. Perhaps it's a shopping list. Maybe these people, because they work in different circles. Honestly, when you're up there in these different circles, in these high up circles of elite wealth and shit, it's another world, man. Everything's perception. I've said this on other videos, I don't need to go into it now, but ultimately the way you see the world is completely different because how you live is completely different. The options that are open to you are completely different. So therefore, you have a different, everything in the world is deciphered in a different way. It's a bit like the Egyptian hieroglyphs. They were written the same way for everybody to look at, but if you were of a certain level of initiation, you understood them in a different way. It's as simple as that. So again, with the initiation stuff, if you're of a certain level, and I mean, it's not even about initiation, it's just your perception at this point. If you're accepted or you're privy to that level of initiation or to that level of perception of how the world works, how these circles work, well then ultimately, now it's not a bunch of photographs of an occult nature, because occult just means, unknown. So now it's not unknown at all, is it? It's not just a bunch of photographs with all these different women with, tiger print shawls, crowns, and fucking butterflies anymore. Not at all. Now it's a shopping list. Now you're looking through Vogue magazine and you're going, all right, she's for sale. He's for sale. Yep. Butterflies indicate you can have one, so long as you pay the right price. Maybe half of these fucking hand signals that they're throwing up mean something in the ways of all of that. But it's a shopping list. I mean, look at the fucking Wayfair stuff with the cabinets that were like 30 grand and had the name of a missing person. Wake the fuck up, okay? Because this is starting to get annoying. These people are horrible and they're abusing people. They're abusing people and you don't care because of some form of weird jealousy, or I don't know, maybe you just don't give a shit. Maybe you're afraid to look at the world this way because it's a scary world. Oh, I can't do anything, so why should I? That's the problem, or at least part of it. Imagine being the Saudi prince. I've said his name again, but he's the first person that comes to mind when you think of the richest man in the world. He's probably not. He's probably small fry. That's why you know about him. But you imagine being somebody like that, and you're flicking through magazines, you're looking for, I don't know, a good time for the weekend. How are you gonna know which celebrities are up for sale unless there's some form of identification process as to who's on the list? I mean, look at Pizzagate. Look at Pizzagate. Look at how they ordered kids on that. They had different code names for them. You had pizza, fucking handkerchief, hot dog, all of these different fucking things, right? Cheese pizza, fucking hell. What was on the pizza meant different things. Obama ordered something like, I don't know, it was a lot of thousands in money. Like, I don't know, 10 grand, 20 grand, I can't fucking remember, of pizza to the White House. Since when did fucking pizza cost 20 grand or whatever it was, 30 grand? I don't fucking know any fucking pizza company that's selling 30 grand's worth of pizza. Even if you're feeding everybody in the White House with a 14-inch, is it costing you 30 grand? I doubt it. I doubt it very much. And is Obama going to fucking feed everybody in the White House? Give me a break. He ain't spending 30 grand on his fucking minions, is he? Anyway, these people, the point is, these people use code names, code words, which means they speak in code. They can't say a code word on a picture, so it has to be a visual code. Therefore, this is why you got people like Marilyn Monroe, man, and like Judy Garland and shit, all doing the same photo shoots. I wonder why. The fucking photographers and the modelling agencies are all in on it. That's how they scout for new talent, probably. You get some fucking unassuming parents bringing their child in for a photo shoot because they want to try and get them into fucking, acting and stuff. They keep prints. They're probably going to fucking send them around. How about a piece of this? What about this one for your next fucking, victim? It's disgusting. Absolutely disgusting, man. But, they'll have a number to call, won't they, these rich folks? They'll have a number to call, and they'll be like, oh, yeah, by the way, someone like Epstein, not Epstein. Epstein was low-hanging fruit, man. Don't even fucking worry about that. He did some disgusting shit, but he's a scapegoat nonetheless. He's low-hanging fruit. The people that are really in charge, you don't know about. They hung him out to dry because they could. Again, it's a bit like a diversion, isn't it? They're giving you a diversion, so you look at Epstein and say, Epstein Island, etc., etc. Yes, it was all disgusting, but it stops there, doesn't it? And that's the point. Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein, smokescreen. They were into some other shit. Apparently they were into the search for Atlantis, ancient civilizations, so they can fucking control the world and stuff. Maybe, I don't know. But at the same time, you'll have somebody's number like that. You'll phone them up and say, yeah, fucking Tom Cruise, this weekend. I'm sorry, mate, he's already taken. We've got him booked in with fucking, Obama's missus. What about next weekend? All right, it'll cost you 5 million quid. No problem. They go to Tom Cruise, they say, whisper a few words in his ears. They cast a spell on him, basically, by saying a few magic words that are already pre-programmed. All right? Maybe that's what all this magic, the illusion of magic, they always allude to magic in these things, don't they? They've just pre-programmed somebody with the magic words. They'll whisper the magic words in their ear. Before you know it, bang. He's a sex kitten for the weekend. Until somebody knocks on your door at the end of the weekend. They come in, they say a few other magic words to him. They turn him off. They put him to sleep. They take him back to his house. They say another few magic words, and before you know it, he can't remember a fucking thing. But his bum hurts. And this is the thing. This is where we're at. And, let's just get past ourselves and remember that these people, even though they've lived a certain life, we need to have empathy for these people. They're fucking abused. They've been abused their whole life, and they're being used by a system of abuse. When you look at the whole system and how it's put together, it's an abusive system. So is it a far stretch to accept the possibility that the people involved in casting the spell upon us, the unassuming public, that, these people would be abused as well? Is it a far stretch to believe that they are also abused? Because we're all being abused, man. Some more than others. It's an abusive system. The tools in which the abuse is put on other people is through abuse. And so on and so on the cycle goes. And we send our kids to fucking school, to get brainwashed into believing that kings and queens are the fucking be all and end all. And we believe the lies that we're fucking told. These historical events, most of them false flags. It's a gender-driven fucking shit is what it is. And we send our fucking kids to school so they can get brainwashed by the people that control the curriculum. The Rockefellers and shit that design the system so they can have followers instead of free thinkers. And and if you don't send your kids to school, hell pay. It's hell to pay. So it's on your fucking head, be it. You're getting fines. You could go to jail. What kind of system says it's that important to learn about kings and queens? Well, of course it's important, because it's important to them. It keeps your head in a fucking box They can't bear to think. They can't risk somebody being a free thinker. They can't risk somebody thinking outside of the box. I wonder why people say that. Think outside of the box. Well, yes, think outside of the box. The box being that which is your fucking head's been put in through the brainwashing of the system. And on that note, I'm going to sign off here. This is Crackcore signing off. I'm going to wish love and peace to all things everywhere. Thank you for being here today. Peace.